Land is perhaps one of the most vital yet limited resources that human beings have access to on Earth. We use land for a wide variety of purposes, such as building towns, cities, roads, and homes, as well as for quarrying in order to extract essential natural resources from beneath the ground. It is also heavily used for agricultural activities, including growing crops and raising livestock, and even for dumping and managing the enormous quantities of waste that we generate daily. However, the more land we claim and alter for human purposes, the less of it remains available for the countless other organisms that share this planet with us. Moreover, the very act of converting land for our own needs frequently leads to a series of knock-on effects that cause even greater harm to the environment. In this explanation, we are going to explore the negative consequences that result from such land conversion, focusing specifically on deforestation and the destruction of peat bogs, which are both major environmental issues today. Deforestation refers to the large-scale cutting down of forests, and this practice is taking place all over the world for many different reasons. One of the primary reasons for deforestation is to clear space for farming. This can include raising cattle for meat production, growing crops that are fed to those cattle, or cultivating crops such as rice for direct human consumption. Another growing reason is the production of biofuels, which are fuels made from plant matter and serve as alternatives to traditional fossil fuels. Yet another reason for deforestation is to harvest the wood itself in a process known as logging. This wood is often used for construction, furniture, paper, or simply burned as a fuel source. While deforestation is a concern in all regions where it occurs, it is particularly devastating in tropical areas where rainforests are being cleared at an alarming rate. These tropical forests are some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. There are three major environmental problems caused by deforestation that are particularly important to understand. First, when trees are cut down, they can no longer carry out the process of photosynthesis. This means they are no longer absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing it in their tissues. As a result, the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases, which contributes significantly to global warming. Second, in many cases forests are cleared not just by cutting but by burning, and when trees burn they release all the carbon they stored as carbon dioxide gas, creating large amounts of smoke that can pollute the air, harm nearby animal life, and further fuel climate change. Third, regardless of whether the trees are logged or burned, the end result is that the habitat is destroyed. Forests, especially tropical rainforests, contain an incredible variety of plant and animal species. When a forest is lost, the animals and plants that live there often die as well, leading to a steep decline in biodiversity and even the extinction of some species. Another type of land that is being damaged significantly is the peat bog, which is a unique kind of wetland environment. Peat bogs are areas of land with acidic, waterlogged soils where dead plants do not fully decompose due to a lack of oxygen and highly acidic conditions. Because the usual microorganisms responsible for decomposition cannot survive in these conditions, the dead plant material accumulates over time and forms a thick, carbon-rich substance known as peat. This makes peat bogs incredibly important carbon sinks, as they lock away vast amounts of carbon that plants had taken in from the atmosphere during their lifetimes. In this way, peat bogs help to prevent further global warming. Unfortunately, peat bogs are frequently drained and destroyed to make room for farmland, especially for raising cattle or growing crops. When the water is removed from the bog, oxygen re-enters the soil, which allows microorganisms to return and begin breaking down the accumulated plant material. This decomposition process releases large quantities of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, undoing centuries of carbon storage in a very short time. Additionally, peat is sometimes physically extracted and burned as a fuel or used as compost in gardening, both of which also result in the release of stored carbon. What makes this even more concerning is that the destruction of peat bogs is happening much faster than new bogs can naturally form. Just like with deforestation, the destruction of peat bogs eliminates the unique habitats that many species depend on, causing further loss of biodiversity and putting certain plants and animals at risk of extinction. In both cases, human land use has far-reaching effects that not only harm individual ecosystems, but also contribute to the broader global issue of climate change and environmental degradation.